And today I have Eric Dingler with us. And then Eric has been a marketer for over 25 years, longer than most, longer than the people who've just jumped on YouTube or just jumped on Instagram and saying, Instagram's the best thing out there. Instagram is good. Facebook's good. There's all these things are good. But when you've been in marketing for so long, you've seen it come and go. You've seen marketing before the internet. You've seen marketing before social media. So I'm really looking forward to having a conversation with Eric. Eric, welcome to the Business and Wealth Show.
Hey, Mac, thanks for having me. It's exciting. Not often do I get to interview and talk with someone that's in the same country I'm in. So it's great to be here in the United Kingdom with you and having this conversation.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Now, what you don't know about Eric is he's what you describe yourself as a digital nomad. Is that right?
That's right, digital nomad.
And for the last 3 years, he's been on the road, country to country, with his family, city to city, exploring the world and running his business remotely, and everything's going fine. We want to hear more about that. How does one create that freedom and also have family and also travel and do all that good stuff? So, Eric, welcome. Now, Eric, we're going to be having this conversation. We're going to be talking all things business and marketing and life. Why should
Good.
anyone, if someone's interested in marketing and their marketing isn't working, why should they stay and listen?
Well, I love the fact that you just asked that if their marketing isn't working. Our For my marketing agency, our ideal persona that we try to reach and work with is the skeptical business owner. So if you're listening and you're skeptical and you're like, I just don't know, I've tried marketing and I've thrown this out there, I've tried this, I've done this, and I just haven't got the results that others have. I understand. I feel that. I think we can help you by unpacking some things here to make marketing really kind of easy to wrap your head around and grab a hold of.
Fantastic. Let me ask you about your entrepreneurial background. How did you start as an entrepreneur? How long have you been an entrepreneur? And what were the circumstances that got you to become an entrepreneur?
Yeah, great question. So I'm an accidental CEO. I started my business as a side hustle to fund our adoption. My wife and I, we have four children. Two of our four children are adopted, and we wanted to adopt debt free. That was important to us,
Right.
and so we needed to raise an additional about $50,000 to cover the adoption. And so I had always been doing marketing and websites for others, and for places that I worked for and stuff like that. So I started building websites as a side hustle. And by the time we brought our kids home and joined our family, we had done it debt free. And my wife and I decided, well, let's continue. Let's keep doing this and help other people fund their adoption. So at the time I was pastoring in a church,
Mm.
and I'm a serial starter of things. I start lots of things, and so we decided to install a new senior pastor of the church, and so we did that and started a nonprofit. And now we run our digital marketing agency as a way to fund our nonprofit and help other people adopt their children so we can help orphans have forever families. And so
Wow.
that's how we got started.
That this touched my heart there in the sense that you became an accidental CEO purely because there was a necessity and you needed to fund something for your family. Now you help others do the same. And not only that, what I'm hearing you say is that you have a not-for-profit, it's dear to you, it's important to you. You run a business, and that business feeds your lifestyle and feeds the not-for-profit and feeds the things that are important to you. That is what I call wealth. It's what I call
Thank you.
wealth in a sense that when you have the freedom and the capacity to do what you want, when you want, with an outcome of what you really want to do in life, that's wealth. And what you've done is very admirable. Admirable in a sense that it's not selfish. There is a mission behind it. There's a reasoning behind why you're doing this business, why this not-for-profit exists, why you have your amazing. How did you, was that an accident being able to travel the world, do whatever you want, whenever you want, and run your business remotely? Or was that planned out that way?
No, Mac, you're gonna slowly unpeel the onion here that I just bump into things. S- Especially considering we adopted two of our children, and during all of the training and preparing that we did to enter the adoption world, we were expecting to be spending a lot of time shuttling our kids into therapy while
Mhm.
still, sports and activities. Plus, we have our two biological children, and so we just thought that was how it was going to be. And we brought our two kids home about 6 weeks before the COVID lockdowns
Wow.
started. So we had intentionally planned those 6 weeks to be at home doing what they call cocooning, just really bonding as a family. Well, COVID extended that time for us. So we did some extreme cocooning. And I think part of that just really helped us bond with our kids. We're having the adoption experience that everybody wants, but few get. We realize that we completely understand that we're blessed in that way. And so with that, my wife and I, we were getting ready to buy a house, and
Mm.
we had this. So fast forward, towards the end of, after the shutdowns and all that, we had this 4 month period that we had nothing on the calendar. And so we had already installed a new pastor. I was running my at that time just web design, and we decided to go on a trip for 3 months. And so we told our landlord, "Hey, we can either give you 50% of rent for the
Mm.
next 3 months, or we're going to put everything in storage and leave the country. And then when we come back, we'll be ready to find a place. We'll rent something for a month as we, or a month or two or three, however long as it takes to buy a place." And he said, I'd rather just you pay me half rent for 3 months than deal with finding new tenants right now. So that's what we did. I'm a big believer. Never say somebody's no for them. So
Yeah.
make the bold ask. That's what we did. We went on that test trip, loved it. And all four of our kids were like, "Can we just keep doing this?" Sure. And so went back to the States, sold 95% of what we own. We have a little storage unit with like the baby blankets and keepsake.
The keepsake.
And then we hit the road. So and haven't looked back, and still have no plans to slow down or stop.
Freedom. Freedom. The
Yeah.
epitome of freedom. Fantastic. Well done. Let's get into marketing. Let's let's talk about why does some people and their marketing and the marketing in their business fail? Why does it fail? What is going wrong here?
Uh, People misunderstand tactics for strategy.
Hmm?
So they'll do a lot of tactics, a lot of things, but they don't work together in a sequence in a way that makes sense. So they don't have a strategy that's taking people on a journey that's leading prospects, in a path, what we call the pathway.
Right.
And so since they don't have that, their marketing doesn't work because again, they have a bunch of tactics going, but they don't have those tactics weaved into a strategy.
So let's talk about the different so let's give some examples of what is a tactic rather than a strategy and why that is important. Okay, so a tactic being they've heard about, hey, do this new fandangle thing on Instagram. And so they just jump and do it one time and think, oh, why isn't it working? So yeah, give me a couple of examples so our people, our audience can really understand the difference here.
Well, one example would be pay-per-click ads. For people that decide that they want to run pay-per-click ads, that's great. 99% of the time, when we talk to somebody, just happened late last week. I was on the phone with a prospective client. They're an eye surgeon
Mm.
in the United States in Columbus. They run pay-per-click ads in the past, and I said something about running ads, and they went, "No, no, no, we did ads. They didn't work for us."
Wow.
And I already could have wrote the script for the rest of the conversation because I knew what they were going to say at my next question. I said, when you ran those ads, were they linking people, leading people to the homepage of your website or to a landing page designed to go with that ad? And they said, well, just to the homepage of the website. And I said, that's why it didn't work.
Mhm.
You know, there's some nuance in this. You didn't take people, you didn't lead people down a pathway. You put an ad that got a click, but then you brought these very busy people to the homepage of your website to have them go on a hunt again. Well, you had already opened the loop. You had opened the conversation in their mind with that ad that got them the click. The next thing they saw should have continued that narrative,
Mhm.
should have, brought them forth. And so that's just one example. And then the other is that we have a framework, the marketing momentum framework. There are four parts to the framework. You need to have one thing at minimum, one thing in each of the four parts of the framework. And too many times what we see is, so the first stage is awareness.
Right.
So we'll see a lot of people do marketing to create awareness. It's actually advertising, but they call it marketing, and
Mm.
that's okay. It doesn't matter. We all know what we all know what we mean by it. But they do these marketing activities, and it's all creating awareness. They're not doing anything in stage two, three, or one. So that's where people really struggle. The tactic without understanding how the before step and the after step work to make it a strategy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think you're in a sense, we're talking about take them on a journey. So that journey says, okay, you've created that awareness. Now what do you want them to do? Now what do you want them to do? Now what do you want them to do? And on that journey, they getting to know you, like you, probably trust you a bit more, understand your services, your products. At one point, at some point, then they will want to buy.
Yeah.
Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
absolutely.
Very,
Absolutely.
very good.
And then hopefully everybody that, and this is the biggest gap I see, or the most missed opportunity I see that businesses make, especially local businesses, small businesses,
Hmm.
um, is they do all this work, they get a customer to come through the front door, and then they do nothing to bring them
Right.
back.
Uh-huh.
And what I didn't expect when we became a digital nomad, as I've become a perpetual first time customer. Every time we move, we need a new barbers and hairstylists. We
Uh-huh.
need eye doctors. We need everything, grocery store, dentist. My wife is taking one of our kids to a dentist today here in Liverpool. Well, the last dentist we used was in Costa Rica. The dentist before that was El Salvador.
Right.
So because we move so much, we're constantly becoming the first time customer of all of these companies. And I'm dumbfounded by how many of them don't take our contact information, or the ones that do, they don't use it, because every business, when you get a customer to come in, that customer becomes one of three types of customers.
Hmm.
They're either a raving fan, which is what we want.
Yeah.
They're a roaring critic. Not that doesn't happen a lot, but you're going to have some people you can't make happy. Roaring critic, or they're silently satisfied. And the vast majority of customers, I'm the silently satisfied customer of hundreds of brands.
Right.
Um, I'm not motivated to be a fan because they haven't invited me to. They
Right.
haven't asked me. They haven't, they haven't engaged me to do that. And so that's a huge missing part for businesses in their marketing strategies.
Got it. You just now, well, earlier on, you alluded to your four laws of marketing, I think, and I think you started talking about that. Um, so yeah, can you expand on that a little bit more? What are
Yeah. So the framework, the marketing momentum framework has four parts to it. And so the first is awareness.
right?
Now there's two types of awareness, Mac. You can have created awareness, whereas a bit brand, as a company, you're putting out content and advertising to make people aware that you exist. Okay,
Yes.
so fantastic. That's, you can create awareness. but there's also self-discovered awareness. I don't need to be told I need a dentist. I know. And it's been 6 months since one of us have been to a dentist, so it's time for us to find one. So there are plenty of things every day we discover all on our own that we need. This broke, I need a new one. This opportunity, I need this. So a lot of people, a lot of businesses, there's already a lot of self-discovered awareness happening, but they can definitely supplement that for them with creating awareness. Then we move to consideration. This is, are you the easy and obvious choice for people looking for you? This is where you want to optimize your Google business profile, your Apple business map listing. Most websites are way too big. Mac, I don't know what it is about, for example, like dentist. Every dentist loves to brag on their website about their X-ray machine.
Mm.
I don't know why, but
It.
yeah, every dentist, it's like, oh, we've got the X-ray tooth machine 4000 or whatever. Nobody cares,
Nobody cares. Yeah, that's it.
nobody cares. What are what insurance do you take? How do I make an appointment? Do you see kids? Are you an expert at seeing kids?
Right.
People have these questions, and so that's what your online presence needs to
Mm.
answer for most businesses. So that's consideration. You got to win the consideration race. You got to show up where people are searching. And so if people, I, I don't go to my laptop to find a barber. I open my phone and I go to Google Maps.
Yeah.
And so if you're a barber and I need a beard trim really bad. If you're a barber in Liverpool and you're at the top of the Google Map pack, you're going to get my money in the next week.
Right. Right.
If you're not paying attention and working to get there, you have zero chance to get my money. And so that's consideration. Then we move to the actual customer experience, the purchase experience. Capture their name, capture their email address,
Mm.
offer a club. We have a brewery, a small brewery in a small town in Ohio, and we built a birthday club for them. They launched it in November, and they're averaging in the last 2 months, they've got 145 people per month to sign up for their birthday club. How
Simple, but
easy is
effective.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how easy is that? And now we've got all these people we can market to
Yeah.
on a regular basis, including their birthday. And so have a way to, for people to want to give you their contact information. There's all kinds of ways to do that. And then make the whole purchase experience exciting. We were and one example is we were in Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
We went to this amazing restaurant, and at the end, so the restaurant was game themed. And at the end, they brought us a Yahtzee cup. Do you have Yahtzee
That's,
here in
yeah.
the
Yeah.
United Kingdom?
Yeah.
Okay. So they brought us a Yahtzee cup. We got two chances to roll Yahtzee, and if anybody rolls Yahtzee, their entire check is free.
Oh, wow. Gamified.
Right? Yeah.
Gamified.
A
Absolutely.
restaurant. Pretty neat, pretty simple. I asked ChatGPT and how many times, what's the likelihood that, they're going to have to give out, a free check. It was like 1 out of almost 700 is the
Wow.
statistical probability.
So it's not
But
it's not exactly eaten into their margin, but it is gamified and people get excited. It's an experience, right?
it's an experience. And what did we do as soon as we had that experience? Well, up on the wall, they had their Instagram handle.
Wow.
My wife and I immediately went
Wow.
from silently satisfied to raving fans,
Yeah.
posted about this.
Yeah.
I was so impressed. I went back 3 days later to interview the business owner because I had to know more about their story. Because Hattie Corner from their business, literally across the street,
Yeah.
they have the exact same restaurant. They had gotten so big and so busy and had wait lines and people knew that was the corner they lived, that business was at.
Yeah.
They decided instead of opening a location across town, we have a wait list. We have a, we always have a line out the door. Let's just open a place across. So they bought the building
Really?
across the street, opened an identical restaurant across the street, and the owner's like, yeah, so now if that side gets busy, I can send a server from
That's
over
abs-
here to help them, or vice versa. Or if, the cook needs something, we can grab it from either cooler. I mean, just great, great business.
amazing,
By
amazing, amazing, amazing.
Yeah, just real simple. And then the final step is the advocacy. How do you take that contact information you gathered, turn people into raving fans, and get them to talk about you on social media to their friends and increase wallet share by getting them to come back to you? So those are the four stages: awareness, consideration, the purchase experience, and
And
advocacy.
advocacy. What about the person who's listening in right now and thinking, oh, Eric, Mac, it sounds all wonderful and it's easy for other people, but no, I'm not good at marketing. I'm just going to hire someone to do it for me. I'm going to hire someone to do it for me. Now, what's the danger of that? I know as an entrepreneur been an entrepreneur for over 25 years, I know the dangers of that. But let's tell our audience why that can be dangerous if you don't know and understand marketing. And even if you outsource it, do you know what they're supposed to be doing? Are you clear? And yeah, go ahead.
No, I love this question. I think it's great. And I think you were starting to hit on the one of the main things right there is, you can't you can't outgrow, stupid. And I don't mean, dumb. I mean not knowing something.
Mm,
And so it is easy for some people to take your money and make it sound like they're getting you results. And you're like, but I'm not seeing any more revenue. Like nothing's changing in the bank,
yeah.
but they're coming in and they're like, oh, you showed up in 27, hundred more searches. Well, that doesn't buy food. Like
Yep.
I can't do anything with my kids with 2,700 more searches on my website. So you as a business owner, you know what customer activity you need. And you don't need somebody to tell you whether it's happening or not. And so I I think I think the biggest issue is so we used to be, Mac, we used to be a done for you agency.
Okay.
3,500 to $5,000 a month was our average monthly retainer.
Yeah.
And I was pretty arrogant and was just wanted business owners just to give me the keys to the kingdom and let me do
Yeah.
your marketing. I know what I'm doing. And it was fine. And we got results for people. But the business owners were always stressed, they were always anxious. I was always feeling this stress to deliver because, you know, $4,000 is a lot of money for a small business per month. So about a year and a half ago, we pivoted to a done with you model,
Interesting.
significantly cut our rates. And now we come alongside a business and we handle the nerd stuff. We handle the techie stuff. We
Mm,
understand API calls, we understand all that. We understand how the system should go. So what we do is we come alongside a business and we help them map out a strategy that follows the framework
right.
with the tactics they like.
Mm,
If you don't like social media, you don't have to do social media.
right.
Like we have enough tactics to help people find the one they want. And if you hire somebody, they're going to tell you, oh, you have to do this. We have to create this kind of content. We have to run these kinds of ads. And you're kind of at the mercy of them and you start to lose your voice in it. And I think that's a big danger. Nobody's going to promote your business better than you. Nobody's going to say it better than you.
No.
And in my experience, most business owners that we work with, they don't mind marketing their business. They just get overwhelmed because they don't know exactly what to do, or the
Right.
technology overwhelms them because, you know, they own a pizza shop. They're an attorney. They're running a doctor's office. They're a technician of their trade. And so they want to do that, but they still want to be involved in enough in the marketing, um, because they like it. It's their passion project. It's their baby, but they don't understand the nerdy stuff. And
Right.
so that's where I think finding a true partner. I don't recommend outsourcing your marketing. I recommend finding a partner that walks with you on your journey and that you work with them week in, week out, month in, month out, whatever the pattern needs, whatever the frequency needs to be. And they're kind of a coach.
Yeah.
We see ourselves in Transit Studios, we see ourselves as business growth coaches that use marketing to help a business grow.
Right.
And
Got it.
and so I would recommend people to find somebody like that.
Perfect. That makes a lot of sense. That means, they've got, oh, yes, they're paying some money, but they've also got skin in the game from a monetary perspective and experience perspective. So they learning and they're taking action based on what you're and I love the word partner and coach because you're beside them and helping them go the right way, which is fantastic. I love that. The You've traveled around the world over the last few years with your family, doing your business. And the reason why I'm asking this particular question is we've got listeners from all over the world. And what have you seen in terms of marketing? Maybe is it the same across the world in terms of human behavior, human nature? Or do you see it working? Some countries do marketing far better, or is it the same, hits and miss and people don't know what they're doing?
That's a great question. Wow. The challenges are universal. A
Mm,
business owner, every business owner struggles with the same, you know, 30,000 foot view kind of stuff. And this, it's because of our experiences where we developed the marketing momentum framework.
yeah,
Because I became a perpetual first time customer, and myself and my family, my wife and our kid, like we were constantly going through this over and over, like way more than most people.
right.
Because like once you find your dentist, you got your dentist, right? So I just started realizing that it it was just people tend to make it so hard,
Mm,
like a barber shop, for example. The average barbershop customer comes within a 1 mile radius. That's it. One
mm,
mile radius. But everybody's like, oh, I got to build a following on Instagram.
no.
Why? Why? Why do you need people all around the world? That's a pride and ego thing.
Right.
You don't need that to grow your barber business. You're only trying to reach 50,000, 100,000, it depends on how dense the population is around you. Like, that's all you got to cover.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of simple.
Yeah. Listen, great speaking of you, Eric. Eric, for those who want to know more about what you do and how you can support them, help them, what's the best way for them to connect with you?
Well, Mac, what I'd love to do is just give everybody listening a really simple one-page guide to
Mm,
help them unpack this for their business. So, what we've done is we've created a one-page marketing action plan that at the top it has the 4 stages of the marketing momentum framework, and under that, a list of very simple tactics that you can plug in to each of those to build a strategy.
right.
So it's a really simple tool to use, but to make it even more powerful, what we want to do is we want to help people identify which area they're struggling the most in.
Hmm.
So to get the one-page action plan, all people need to do is go to mymarketingscorecard.com.
Hmm.
It's a 4 minute assessment, takes about 4 minutes. You're going to answer a series of questions on a scale of 0 to 10. And so it's very simple. And at the end of that, you're going to get your results, and it's going to say, this is the area you're doing great in. Here's the area you're lacking.
I
Here's the
love
area where you need to work on. You take those results, write them on the top of the action plan, and you immediately see not just the marketing strategy as a whole, you'll see where to start to get immediate results. And so again, that's at mymarketingscorecard.com. People can grab that there and
Super.
deploy it, and love to see them do it.
All right, we'll add that to the footnotes of the show. Listen, Eric, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. I think you've given us some insights into what works, what doesn't work, and also how to really create freedom. And above all, how to partner with someone. If you're struggling in with marketing and getting the right clients on board, how to partner with someone and get coaching in order to improve that and not just leaving it to someone else to try and figure it out. So I love that. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Eric, for being on the show.
Thanks, Mac. I appreciate it.
You are most welcome. Until we speak again, take care. Everyone else listening, as you know, smash the like button, share your comments here as well. Let us know what you thought as well. And remember to click the link to get the assessment done and get the results. And then you know which area of your business or marketing you need to work on in order to get better results. Check out Eric's link. It's at the bottom of this show here in the footnotes. All right, take care. Mac Attram and Eric Dingler. Bye for now.